Branding and marketing consultancies will never have a better summer than the one last year because the number of logo changes was at an all-time high. With a booming economy, every brand wanted to spruce up its look to attract more customers. We revisited three of the biggest rebranding exercises, Godrej, Seat and Shoppers Stop, to find out how successful each has been. We started by quizzing Adi Godrej, the chairman of the Godrej Group, about whether all the fuss and 100 crore rupee media plan really paid off.
Vibrant colours was perhaps the last thing you'd associate with Godrej. The brand, famous for its locks and cupboards, attempted to unshackle its stodgy perception with its brand new logo. The branding exercise has been followed by various launches in personal care categories like soaps, coils, hair gels and kitchen appliances. Studies conducted immediately after the 6 crore rupees rebranding campaign show that 71% of the audience recalled the new logo, but the question remains how much of it has helped sales or even pushed the brand up the stock ladder.
Overall, our growth rate in consumer products has been excellent. We have outpaced our expectations, and I think that's because of our branding exercise. And you talked about how has it done in the stock market. So during the calendar year 2008, which was a meltdown year for the Indian stock market, there were only 20 stocks that ended the year at a higher price than the beginning of the year. And Godrej Consumer Products was one of them.
But would you attribute that to the rebranding?
I think considerably. I wouldn't totally attribute it to the rebranding, but considerably. I think that has helped our image. It has changed people's perception of Godrej. For example, people did not have a perception that Godrej was technologically strong. Now, for example, currently in this IPL, we have a series of ads, they're just starting, the teasers have started, where we are projecting our strong technology in the aerospace field, how we are involved with the Indian space effort, etc. So I think it will upgrade our image, especially with young consumers.
Okay, but doing that a year later, one of the criticisms that a lot of marketing consultants have told us is that once the initial phase of that initial burst of communication is done with, companies tend to forget to live up to that. Do you think that criticism is fair?
No, I don't think so. In our case, we had several product launches. We had several brand ambassadors signed up during the last year. So in fact, we have had more variant and brand launches in our businesses in the last 12 months than at any time in our history.
60-year-old Seat too needed to up its youth appeal and went in for a rebranding. The brand chose to shed its iconic rhino image and Born Tough tagline that was first introduced in 1982, since the toughness of tires positioning was no longer relevant.
It is not just the image change which we have gone around, it is also the change in the mindsets in the organization, in the way we talk to our customers, in the way we design our products, in the way we communicate to the outer world, the investors, the customers, our dealers, and the employees too.
A part of the change is the 400 crore rupees investment in radial tires that the company is making to brace itself for the increasing number of tire sales for passenger vehicles. At present, 65% tire sales are for commercial vehicles. But the attempt to target the youth after the initial media burst has been very mild. Staying away from mass media, the brand is opting for sponsorships on shows like MTV Roadies, and while we all know the change is here, industry experts say no one knows what the change is.
A tire is a tire is a tire, and a lot of Indians are totally tired of tire advertising. Now, if you look at Seat, I do believe this was a brilliant opportunity for it to create new products, a new range altogether, and run with it. And I think that was a missing element.
A big push for the brand has been in terms of youth perception, where before the rebranding, 38% of the target group believed the company had products for youth, and 6 months post the change, it increased to 53%. However, in terms of perception, Seat stayed put and continued to be the #2 brand after MRF.
For a brand
brand that is purchased only once in 3 to 4 years, SEAT will have to continue its branding efforts for a long time before they bear fruit. But if the brand wants more than its 14% market share, it will have to create some innovations within the tyre segment to demonstrate its change.
Another brand looking to cash in on the youth was Shoppers Stop. The retail chain spent nearly 20 crore rupees on its rebranding last summer. Experts say the move was necessary since new entrants like Westside, Lifestyle and Globus were pushing Shoppers Stop to being perceived as an older brand. The result was a repositioning of the store as a bridge to luxury.
All of us have aspirations, and the premium customers have aspirations which are higher above them. And how do we get new brands, new experiences into the store, and using rebranding as an umbrella to do all of that.
The brand imagery across attributes like trusted, fashionable and progressive scored 45% higher as compared to a brand track study conducted the year before. Shoppers Stop cemented their new positioning by changing the shopping experience too, from introduction of premium brands like Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger to improving store music and in-store service. The brand has shifted focus to loyalty programs since more than 72% of its sales come from loyalty customers. However, one can argue that the change could have been brought about without replacing the iconic logo, since it had high recall in the consumer's mind. As the phrase goes, why fix it if it ain't broke?
The rebranding scenario seems to be a case of whether a dog's bark is worse than his bite. But time for a short break now. But when we come back, we explore whether the new launches of last summer have lost their sizzle.